Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones. This is your host, goofing around. Let's try this again. On a previous take, I underestimated this difficulty, as I've been doing the past videos, and my loot pretty much got gangbanged and died a painful death. That's no good. I'm a perfectionist, so we're gonna have to redo this chapter. And I've saved my state in terms of the the chapter preparation screen, so I'll just quickly go over my reasoning behind that when it comes up. And here we have a character that we will meet later on. The story is much more fleshed out if you pick Erika's story. I think on chapter 8 or around there, you have to pick between if you want to follow Erika or her brother Ephraim on the respective routes. And I don't know what I'm going to choose yet. Personally, I like Erika's route better because the story is better. Ephraim's route story is kind of bullshit. But Ephraim's route is better gameplay wise. There's always pros and cons with these things. Nothing's simple. On the left we have Natasha, a new character, and she is the only one able to promote the other new character in this chapter, which is Joshua. And yes, it saved my state, so I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna refrain from using Ross because I use him every single time, and these past 4 levels he hasn't been getting good level ups, so we're gonna drop him and try something new this time. Joshua is part of the Myrmidon class, and it took me forever to learn how to pronounce that word. And apparently it originates, correct me if I'm wrong, from in the Iliad, the men of Achilles were named Myrmidon? I don't even know. I think that's where it comes from, and it's completely just arbitrary. Because Myrmidons, I mean, it has something to do with it in terms of they're all warriors, but Myrmidons are these classes of very fast sword users. And they're not the best class, but I like them because they got class, they got style. It's a class that has class. So in the previous episode, I just pretty much planted loot like right here, and she got fucked. So we're not gonna do that this time. No. Go away. Last time I also sent Gilliam over here to do a little cleaning. He wasn't doing a very good job, so we're just gonna stick together as a family. These guys were kind of annoying. Exacerbated the problem I had here previously. I'm gonna switch off animations for... I guess... I'm gonna succumb to the turboing because this game is way too slow, and I have ADHD or ADD or one of those. I don't know what the actual correct medical condition to make fun of, which is terrible for me because I'm gonna stop there. Anyway, basically, I have the attention span of a little boy, so we're gonna go ahead and turbo. So if we're turboing, we don't have to turn off the animations because it's probably faster turboing now. And we're gonna kill this guy with Naomi because she is a boss. It's ridiculous the amount of damage she's outputting and having to go twice in a row. It's ridiculous. The thing about Luda is she's such a glass cannon. And her 65 magic growth, I am reminded of the fact that I mentioned in the last episode that she's surpassed by only a few offensive magic users, and one of them is Lilina from Fire Emblem 6, and she has a she has a growth of 75, I believe. Magic growth, and that's just fucking insane because she'll be maxing out that stat pre-promotion. It's quite ridiculous. Recruiting Joshua is a little bit of a pain in the arse because he's an enemy unit before recruiting, and he has a killing edge, so it gets a little tricky, but it's not the hardest thing this game has to offer, obviously. If it is, this game blows. In theory, this game would just if that was the hardest challenge in this game, I probably wouldn't be playing it right now. Okay, we're not gonna do that because this is this. Just chill out here a little bit. One of the most important things about playing Fire Emblem is play defensively. Unless of course you're ranking, and that's a level beyond me. Because it mixes two conflicting ideas. You gotta be fast and aggressive, and you also have to be defensive to protect your units from dying and whatnot. But if you're not playing for ranking, definitely go defensively, because it will save you from a lot of rage quits. Lute in her infancy is not able to output as much damage, but she'll get there. Okay, we're gonna calm down here because we're gonna protect Lute from a barrage of sharp objects thrown at her with a wall of characters from here. Gilliam 2-time in here. That's pretty ridiculous. With Seth by her side, I think she's safe. I'm gonna build a wall with Erika and Seth. That's some pretty good growth, so hopefully she doesn't die. I think Natasha and Fran can support, I'm not exactly sure. Erica's already turned out to be a boss, I might just have to use her route. What kind of irritates me is if you choose a particular route, the other person gets shafted unless, because they auto level up to the correct level when you meet up with that character again. And I'm a little anal about that because I like to raise my own units. Now here we go with a critical. So that's nice. What's nicer is a good level. And that's not too shabby. Let's meet shield here. Dodging at 82, that's impressive. The last playthrough I did not survive that turn. It's a pretty easy turn, I just got a little too cocky. This is an even trickier turn now. I think what I'm gonna aim for is disarming Seth and parking him into the woods. Not before rescuing some of these characters once I clean up here. One of the best things about this game, at least in my opinion, is watching the certain growth that are terrible on certain characters actually get a 1-up in a level up. I couldn't have worded that more terribly. But if you're a FE player, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I was watching the new trailers and gameplay videos of the new Fire Emblem Awakening. The problem with this is, if I mention this and it's like, oh, this is a new game that hasn't come out yet, and some people watch this video in like 2013, 14 and be like, it's a complete time capsule, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I was watching the trailer, and apparently healers can now gain 25 experience per. Oops, I fucked that up. Or did I? No, I'm good. They gain 25 experience per heal. That's ridiculous. I always liked healers because how indispensable they are in the harder difficulties, and the hardest part about using them is they level up so slow because they can't gain experience through combat unless you're a terrible player. You know what I mean. And now 25 per heal, that's on average, I'd say, more experience you're gonna get on the average unit who can do combat. And that's insane. So I'm definitely going to be using a lot of healers once I... that's good. Once I do play Fire Emblem Awakening. And that was also good because, that right there, Killing Edge is very important and you don't want to waste the usage. Though I think if you recruit him, the